Hello, I'm ABXSlayCat and welcome back to another episode of my Minecraft Xbox Update Adventures Let's Play. This is the Let's Play where we're playing through the various updates that have come out for Minecraft on the Xbox, building stuff, killing stuff, and of course, destroying stuff. And in today's episode, I'm not going to be destroying my health, I'm actually going to be here to actually finish one of the big things which has been, I guess, on my mind for a really long time, because I have a bunch of gold now. I've been into caves, you've probably seen some of it, and over that time, I've managed to get enough gold to make pretty much all the electrified track I should need to get the Guardian moved into his little cage. And then also, as well as that, I'm finally going to be making a use for all of the granite. I've collected a lot of granite for like 2 weeks now. It's like 10 separate stacks, something like that. And the question is like, what do I do with all of these? So I'm going to take these, and I have a fun idea that we'll be using that for later. But basically, yeah, things are coming up Toy Cat's way, and it's going to be a great episode after we do one crucial thing and grab all of this gunpowder, and we make a bunch of fireworks. Because I've been collecting gunpowder for the longest time, thinking like, wait, I need this for some reason, but I can't remember what. And then as of like just before this episode, I was like, oh, I have 6 fireworks. That's clearly why I use gunpowder, and it's kind of a weird thing, but I just forget why I use gunpowder every now and then, and it's just one of the, again, it's just a very weird thing in the world. Also, I have a bunch of iron now, and I need to work out a use for that. I know there's some big need for iron in my world, but I can never be quite sure as to exactly what it is, and I know it's a good problem to have where I've been mining so much lately that I just have too many resources, but it's still an issue that I do technically have, so we'll be working through that as time goes on. So, yeah, we've got enough gold ingots to make, what is that, like 6 sets of track, and every set of track gives you 6. I think it's only 6 rails when you make powered rails, which means we need some redstone. We're going to need more than 8 redstone torches because we need to get that stuff going. So probably, what, like another 4 redstone torches for 6 sets of track? I think that sounds about right. We'll grab, I mean, like, it sounds close enough to right, so we'll make 8 more just to be, like, perfectly precise that we get this right, and then we're going to go and fly and get that Elder Guardian finally moved into its tank. So, those are the plans for today's episode. I hope you all enjoy it. Let's talk about what I've been up to this past week, because I want to, first of all, respond to last week. Like, I feel like a good opening segment of this is like, so, my response to last week's Let's Play episode, because there's a couple of things I want to keep in mind. First of all, my idea for the granite actually came from that comment section. I think it was Chrissy who said I should make, like, a custom biome, and it's been a while since I made a custom biome using a block, but granite's the perfect one to use because the entire, like, inner part of my Let's Play world, where I spend most of my time, has no granite in it, and I figure if I use it to do something, like, really weird, it'll kind of look like it's meant to be there, or not meant to be there in a way that it's meant to be there. I know that makes no sense, but it's a thing, trust me. And the other thing was to do with the fact that apparently I don't sound ill at all when to me, I thought I sounded terrible last week, but no one really spotted it, so that's a thing. And then thirdly, I didn't spot this at the time, but apparently my recording program cut off a lot of the audio last week, like the first like 10 seconds, and it's super spooky when like something like that happens, because there's like nothing, there's no way I could ever know about it until it happens, and then it's like, well, it's happened now, so what are you going to do about it? And yeah, I know, I'd say, so in case you're curious, if there ever is a cut up at the, so it happens at the end every now and then, like every 50th video I record or something, then sorry about that. Again, it's at the end, and it's like, you know, that's probably fine. And then apparently every now and then it happens at the start now too, so that's just a thing I have to deal with and work out how to deal with and stuff. So yeah, we're gonna first of all make a bunch of powered rails. Like I said, it's every piece of gold only gives you 1 rail, so like the gold to the rail ratio is actually pretty bad there. And then also we want to make some, I guess, some redstone torches, because that seems to make sense. Actually, I never know where redstone torches are, because every single torch item in the game is like in a different place, but again, whatever, different thing, different issue for the day. And then yeah, what we're going to do is we're going to power this up, and we're going to have ourselves a perfectly powered system all the way from where the Guardian is now to all the way over there. I don't know if we'll be able to make it with just this amount of track, because they changed the minecart physics recently, and like even before they changed them, I wasn't 100% sure what was going down, but yeah, hopefully it will go. If not, we'll just have to push it manually, which won't be fun, but it will be what we'll do. So do we have rails over there? Okay, we do. So we just need like 1 or 2 more sets of rail along the way. Probably 2 more, because again, the fact that it's going diagonally here makes me a little bit cautious of it. So what we'll do, just in case to make sure it really goes, is we'll just like use a section here to be like, you know, actually, let's just cut into this corner a little bit more than we already do. So just like grab some rails, replace the, like, I don't know, replace the diamond axe with the rails over to there, and then we just place some regular rails here, and boom, we got a system. So that's going to be my plan for stuff like, actually wait, if I place it here, then I could have it go around the corner, and then have another set of powered rails, and there we go. double stuff. So yeah, we want to just do that everywhere along the rail, because it'd be, in my ideal situation, we can just push the Guardian and he goes all the way. The Elder Guardian is, by the way. Again, it's been, I know it's really weird, like, if you don't follow the Let's Play and this is your first episode, because apparently for some people, that's what happens. It must be really confusing when you see something like this go down. You're like, wait, what? Why is he doing that? I don't see any particularly great reasons to be doing that. Also, as it turns out, you can't have curved stretches of rail. It has to, like, connect onto something. But, yeah, you learn something new every day, it seems. So since I do actually have some, if I'm not mistaken, some stone, we can actually make this a little bit wider here, just so we can guarantee that we can power this. So power there, then power there, and then back to our regular stuff. And then we can finish our railing process, which apparently isn't quite done now. That's a bit weird. And then we can get our stuff done. That's all we're going for here. It's going to take some time, but we're going to get it done. So now just rails all the way to the end. It looks like I actually didn't bring enough rail with me. I put them in an ender chest, so we have to go find one of those. But this should go all the way to the edge. I've got like enough rails like in the world, enough iron, and then suddenly we've completed the project. And again, this is such a cool one to have finished because I didn't realize at the time how far away the Elgato was, and like I thought it'd be like, oh yeah, that's a fun little project, but I've made the cage for him, I've done all the little steps, and there's something really satisfying in my opinion about like doing all the little steps in something before you finish it. So that's nice. So anyway, comments from last week, it sucks sometimes when it randomly breaks, and I hope it doesn't happen again, but if it does, I hope you understand that it's like, you know, the video was 30 minutes and I lost 5 seconds. I hope we can keep the other 29, or what, yeah, 29 minutes and 55 seconds. I was going to say 95 seconds, but obviously that's not how minutes work. And then also, what have I been up to this past week? Not watching movies for the sake of watching movies. A lot of people do not, a lot of people aren't like, a lot of people didn't necessarily understand the whole like, oh yeah, well I tried to master a thing I'm doing there. And again, maybe that's just a thing in my head where like, I play too many video games now, so everything is like a skill in a game that you can like max out. Like for instance, whenever I played RuneScape, it was always, you know, when you're doing any skill in RuneScape, it's always down to like, oh yeah, well you can measure how well you're doing by XP an hour, and then you can measure that against other skills, and obviously some are slower than others, but if you're getting less than the optimum amount of XP an hour, then what are you even doing? And honestly, that's actually, it sounds stupid to be like, you know, maximizing XP per hour or something when you're playing a game that should be fun, but the truth is it actually teaches you how to get stuff done for like real life. Like I feel like having games like RuneScape out there, or having games like any game that like makes you kind of work for something, like I'd say Minecraft probably makes you do a fair amount of work for something. Also, I don't know if this track will even work, so let's find out. Oh, no it doesn't. It only works one way it seems. So we have to like, okay, it's fine, we'll just have the curve go, yeah, this is actually gonna be a bit of a mess. So we want to only curve down one way, and then have like it go like that. So this can be one block, and then there's 2 blocks here, and then there's 2 blocks there. That should perfectly work, because we curve down one, and then we go forwards a bit. No, okay, it still doesn't work. So we have to go 3 blocks while we're still going the same way, or we just can't curve as we go around a corner. So all we have to do to fix that is be like this, I guess. And then that should work, maybe. Again, kind of spitballing it. There we go. And then, like, oh, okay, this is an issue again. So then we place a block there, go down these, and then go down, like, you know, just, I kind of want to have a stone block there, so we'll just do that anyway. And then curve there, and then, oh no, but we still can't curve that way quite right. So we curve over here. Can we curve there? No, I am misunderstanding these rules quite substantially. So we remove this. And then remove this. We can curve this way if we have just a single block in the way. And then we can curve to that. There we go. See, nailed it. That didn't take too much time at all. I totally understand the rules without issue. And then we're going to need to have probably like another set of powered rails on the side here. So we'll just have that be right there. Power these one of the last ones. And then also, it's crazy how long it can take sometimes to like properly get the rail thing working. But I guess that goes to show just like, you know, sometimes things seem simple, but they're not. And that goes to show of like the movies. Like it seems like, oh yeah, the movies are something you go to because you just want to have a good time. But the truth is like, I mean, no, you can be bad at doing lots of things. And I like to in my head. I mean, I don't think this very often, but it's like, oh, these guys are so bad at doing this. Like, because again, if you go into someone and your only goal is like, yeah, let's make this easy. You can make it easy, but that's not necessarily the best way to make things, and that seems ridiculous on the surface, but again, I think it's really true. So yeah, again, it turns out I slightly underestimated the number of rails I need, but it's all good. We're like, we're only 1 stack short, and I actually have a stack, exactly a stack I think it was, left on the side, but just so we don't have to use even that, I just want to guarantee that we get this done for now. So what we're going to do is we're just going to power through, make some regular rails out of thing, use the rest of these stacks up, and there we go, 1 more stack of rails to finish up this thing, and then we're just going to have to fill the tank up with water, and then we can put it in there. So we'll probably have to like properly do this stuff next week, but the fact that we made a huge rail literally from 2 random points in my world, from like it's literally just a random ocean monument, the closest one I could find, and they're super rare, to a museum in the very center of like a TU5 1.8.1 generated world. Kind of cool actually. Actually, it's kind of funny. Like we're at the point now where we're so long beyond when I made this world that 1.8 is like not even a close thing now, right? Like 1.8 refers to the not the combat update, the one before the combat update, as opposed to referring to the beta one. But I guess that's just how things are. So yeah, okay. So given that I want it to be over there, I guess I need to have probably a bit more like stone here as well, just so we can really have it go right up to the gap, and then I have to work out a way to fill up that gap. And I think the simple answer is like use an infinite water source somewhere. But the question of like how do I make an infinite water source is probably the big one for this actually. So yeah, as you can see, if I make the thing fly off, it'll fly into there, and it'll probably bounce around this stuff for a bit. So I really, really want to make sure there's like blocks on all sides to stop it going outside of it. But again, it'll probably be fine. We just want to, I guess if we made it go a little bit more to the right, or we like had a gap here, like yeah, let's just break this glass, we can get more later. Then he should go flying off gently into there. We'll break the minecart. Wait, if we keep him in the minecart, then he can't go flying off by himself until we've made the ceiling. So we'll just bring a bunch of glass, and then we'll make the ceiling after he's in there, and then boom, we've done it. So yeah, how do we get this box filled with water? Probably slowly but surely, right? Yeah, I guess that's what we're just gonna have to do. Just gonna like place a bit of water in there. Like for now, we'll just have like a bit. Oh, I'm trapped in here now. Just have like a bit of water, and then like we can fill in the rest later. Oh, jeez. Always really bad doing that. So yeah, we've got like a thing we have to work out next week. But for now, we've at least got the track on the way to him sorted, minus 1 stack, which we can make now. I kind of want to just finish, like, just so we don't have to be like, oh yeah, it's technically finished, but like mostly, because that's why I do most of my stuff. We're gonna like fully finish that now, I think. So anyway, with that said, yeah, a lot of people, especially since last week, have been now asking for like some form of like podcast version of this. Like, oh yeah, why didn't you put this on Apple iTunes or something? And the simple answer to that question is like, I think I'm a bit, honestly, like this. I know this is a weird reason, but like I'm a little bit uncomfortable with the idea of this being like a podcast only thing. Like, like because it's a Let's Play, and like half of what I'm focusing on is the video. It's like it's not quite an audio only product. Even if you see it as one, it's not quite one anyway. And I figure like the best solution though, if you do want to listen to this as a podcast, like for some reason you don't even care about the video, obviously you can minimize it, and I'm sure you know about that. But if you want it on your phone, some people said they want to listen to me while they run, and that's like, I mean, if it helps you run in any way, then I'm super happy with that, because that's like, that's good stuff to be doing in the world. But yeah, if that is the case, you can obviously go on YouTube Red, and yeah, again, I always recommend you get like, so if you only have like $8 and you're wondering how to best spend it to help tweak it out, obviously subscribe to the YouTube channel on YouTube Gaming. It's confusing to even work out how to do that. I know a lot of people have been working through that issue recently. But if you have that already, or you just want to get a useful service for yourself for the $8, and rather than just the toy cat thing, I always recommend YouTube Red, because YouTube Red is okay. Let's start with the granite now. I've got 4 bits of rail left, which is annoying, but we'll throw them in the center chest, the ender chest, I guess, and then that can just be that, right? Like, oh, darn it, we're like there. I really should just do something else with these rails. It seems a bit weird to put 4 in there, but we've done it anyway. It's in there. It's fine. So yeah, what we're gonna do now is we're gonna move. Actually, let's move the Elder Guardian bit too, because I want to do that, like, because I'm talking about something that does, like, you might not even believe is real. I hope you believe it's real, but it sounds like it's not real, so that's fine. So we're just gonna fire a second rocket. Since I have all the rockets anyway, we can do this. And we're gonna move the Elder Guardian a little closer to here, because he might have despawned or something in there this time, honestly. Like, it's it's been a while since we considered where the stuff is. Okay, so he should be somewhere in the middle. Oh, there he is. Okay, so he's also gonna be firing lasers at me, which is gonna be a bit annoying, but again, do your thing, Mr. Guardian. Just whatever. I appreciate you anyway. Glad that you can I guess I need to like make some blocks like this, and then just make sure he doesn't see me again, and then just keep running in and out, or just let him do his armor piercing beams. Because fun fact, I think the Elder Guardian is the first mob in the game to have like a proper armor piercing ability. Yeah, he's gonna be super annoying about this, it seems. Okay, you know, I'm taking you to a safe home in a museum, and you're just here being ungrateful about the whole ordeal. I should probably take off my armor too. Okay, let's just keep going. Just keep going. You can't even see me because I'm too close. I mean, that's not how eyes work at all, but if it's how the Guardian works, it's how the Guardian works. And then as soon as we get him on a boost pad, he should get boosted all the way. That's the dream here, at least. He's going super slowly right now, though, which is concerning. Oh, okay, that's fine. Really appreciate your cooperation on this one, Guardian. So anyway, what have I been doing this past week then? Mostly, honestly, preparing for like future travel things. I know that's like I try not to discuss the travel thing too. Oh, he's trapped on something. Or maybe it's going this way. Yeah, there's like it's gotta be trapped. There's no way this is just like I've never seen it be so hard just to nudge it over one block or something. I wonder what he's trapped on. Oh, there we go. Hey! This Guardian speeds away. Okay, there we go. But yeah, so I've been actually doing a lot of like preparation stuff for like going on future places. Because like again, different places gonna be going. You'll hear about them close to the time. Because in my head, I know this is the weirdest thing, but I generally like don't see something as happening until it's like a certain number of weeks away. Like, you know the traditional holiday thing where you book a holiday like 8 months in advance and then you count down like, oh, it's only 7 months and 31 days to go. That's not how like, oh geez, the Guardian's gonna go all the way to his place, and I'm not gonna be prepared for him. You know, I'm gonna have to like fly to catch up with him, aren't I? Yeah, I'm gonna have to. He might be trapped in here though. Who knows? I don't know how this works. But the oh wow, it looks like I nailed this so well that he's gonna end up all the way there. Okay, so we're gonna fly one more time. But yeah, so that's yep. He got all the way there with that one push, which means he's now he landed perfectly in the hole. Okay, I was gonna have to worry about this so much, but he's already in there. Now I just have to give him some water and put some glass over him, and it's all done. Yeah. The museum is working quite fine, I think you'll find. So anyway, let's move on now, very quickly, to go to sleep for the second time. And then we're going to work on that little custom biome thing, which I think is important. Because we've got the granite, we've got the stuff for it, and we got a bunch of like just weird custom stuff in this world. Because the biomes have... so back when I made this world, I've said this story a few times, the biomes were based on... they were generated on the spot, based on your seed, not based on like your seed when you first made it. So they eventually locked it in based on your seed at the last time before the update. But it means that now the biomes that generated in the world and the biomes that exist in the world are like entirely mismatched, and you get a lot of weird situations from that. And one of the most interesting versions of that is the fact that I have like you know, a desert biome that isn't a desert, and I have a swamp biome that is a desert. And the swamp biome that is a desert looks like a savanna. I'm turning it into one, but I figure, given that it's so close to lots of other weird biome mixtures, like a jungle biome that isn't a jungle, I could use that to make like a dino jungle looking thing. So let me just show what I mean by that. But yeah, so over the past week, I've been in particular, you know, like just planning a lot of stuff for the future. In terms of like the travel stuff, and I mean also in terms of the YouTube stuff, because now that we've seen the updated Quad 6, one of the things I like to do before an update comes out is like plan a lot of the videos that will be coming out after it's out, right? Because again, like I usually have like this crazy like video binge where it's like, yeah, what if we did like 4 or 5 videos a day for like a week or 2 or something, and yeah, it's a little bit crazy whenever we do those, and I like to like have a bunch of like cool ideas, so I'm not just making videos to take videos, they're like, ooh, hopefully useful videos, and it's worked out well so far, and been planning for that as well. So again, planning is like the most boring answer to like, what are you doing? But it's what I've been thinking about. And then also, so yeah, as you can see, super bright green biome. Like I want to go back there, finish chopping down those trees sometimes, because it's such a simple thing that would really help out. But like, because this is all on the same boat journey from one side to the other anyway, I figure like this area right here, this could be, you know, like probably would work out as like a dino biome if we put some like dino eggs in it, or at least some boulders or like some meteors, whatever they're going to be. Also, we're about to see a chicken kill a cat, or sorry, a cat kill a chicken. I mean, I'm not saying I thought the chicken would win that fight, I just misspoke. So yeah, let's build some boulders and let's talk about what I've been thinking about this last week though, because honestly, well, I've said this before and I'll say it a billion times again, but one of my favorite things in the world is like kind of predicting the future, like Guessing what will come in the future is like a real skill that if you can get good at, then you'll be rich and you'll be like important. You know, like that's a lot of like what the challenge in life is. Guessing what the future's going to be like, and generally speaking, most people guess wrong, and that's why, you know, you see a lot of weird stuff that like doesn't make sense from the past, because people are just like, oh, what if the future's like that? And you know, that's like the Zune from Microsoft, or you know, like there's a billion examples of just like, well, we thought that would work, but clearly it didn't, right? And along the same lines, it's really fun to go back and see like videos of like what the future should look like from the past. That, in fact, I think that's why Fallout is such an interesting game, right? Like the idea behind Fallout is just like did I say Fallout right? Yeah, okay. The idea behind Fallout is like, what if we lived in the future, but not like our future? Because, you know, we know enough about like our dream of the future. What if we lived in like the 1950s dream of the future? Because, you know, they never discovered the transistor, and there's like a few different, like it's a few tiny differences, but it makes for like a world that's like 1950s future instead of like, again, actual future. Although, you know, our future isn't the future. The future you dream of right now when you think 10 years in the future, that's not how it's actually going to go. And based on the fact that we're developing like more and more scary technology, it's probably going to be a little bit worse than what you're imagining too. So isn't that nice to think? But yeah, so that's why Fallout's so popular, because you can go back and see what their vision looks like. So every now and then I'll look at like, you know, a vision of the future from like some company or something. And even so again, it's funny to play Fallout because it's the 1950s dream, and 1950s, like 60 years ago. No doubt they got stuff wrong. They figured like at some point we'd all own our personal planes and hover cars. When you watch Back to the Future, which is 30 years old, right? I think it's 30. I don't actually like Back to the Future very much, so like, again, I'm sorry if I'm not all in on the Back to the Future lore here. But if you watch Back to the Future, it's got kind of a similar thing going on, but like 30 years ago, they're like, oh, everyone will have hoverboards and funny hairstyles, and you know, because they're just like, yeah, that's just how the future's gonna be, right? Like, why wouldn't we have hoverboards? Like, if we have skateboards today, surely eventually they'll hover. It just seems logical to me. And yeah, so my point being is like the future is always like a snapshot of the current time, not a snapshot of the... So again, like when you see a time's vision of the future, you get like a snapshot of how they wanted to see the future at the time. So one of my favorite things to do, I've seen a few videos of this, because I said how I watch plane videos on YouTube, right? I think it was during Q&A Saturday, like last week. But so I get a lot of like random like videos about like flights and stuff recommended to me, and one of them was like, here is like, I think it was British Airways, like their brand new like I know they're talking about their brand new like planes, but they're talking about their brand new planes in 1999, or you know, some really far back time, and it's really interesting to like hear them be like, oh, the travelers of the future wants this, and you know, in 10 years it'll be like that. It's like, you know, even their dream of like the future from 10 years ago, well, I guess 1999 is, oh Jesus, like 20 years ago now. But anyway, their dream of the future from like so recently is still so horribly off. And I guess my point here is like no one can predict the future. And even when we predict the future like 2 years into it, like have you ever seen renders of like the PS5 or the PS6, or like, you know, like where people just like come up with like what it probably will look like? They're always miles off. Like sometimes like with the Galaxy you get a leak and you actually do manage to be accurate. See this? Okay, so I feel like the boulders got worse and worse as we went along. Or maybe better and better. Do they look like Dino Eggs? I think they look a bit like Dino Eggs. I mean, maybe I'm partial to my own designs though. So anyway, my point though, with all of that, was that, so I probably should throw some like andesite on the floor here or something. But yeah, basically, you know, seeing the past vision of the future is like a really interesting way to like get a perspective on that time, I think, because no one ever tells you about how their time is legitimately. Like, the reason we value in history, so I'm not saying like we as in me, but like we as a species, or like we as a history gathering people, we value like primary sources so much as in we don't like it when someone tells you about how it is right now. We don't like it when people write like diaries about how it used to be. Like seeing history, but history from the perspective of the 12th century, isn't as useful as just seeing some dude's diary. Like I think it's got, his name is like Samuel Pepys or something. Like there's a famous dude from when the fire of London happened. He has a diary. I've never read much into it. Same with like Anne Frank as well. Right, like diaries and stuff, like where people are just like writing something for their own note of like what their thoughts are. That is the real valuable stuff. Ooh, I'll take the grass, I guess. That's the really valuable stuff, because when you're writing something to be read in the future, you're writing it with the perspective of like, oh yeah, how things will be, and that's not as useful as like, oh yeah, just here is how things are right now. So yeah, from future, if you read something, or sorry, if you guess how the future will be, it kind of says something about how you view the world. Like, if I spoke to like my aunt who hates social media but still uses it all the time anyway to post pictures of what's going on in life, then you'll be like, oh, in 10 years then we'll all just be in the social media cloud all day and it'll be terrible. And if you're like really a big fan of it, like I am, you're gonna be like, yeah, video games are gonna be so great in 10 years. We're not even gonna know we're in a video game. I might be in a video game right now. This might be Minecraft YouTuber Simulator that I'm just playing in the future right now. Who even knows? And yeah, I don't know. My point being that is like the future is just the interesting way of telling the past. And also, I was thinking like predicting so if you predict your own future, then I think the way you measure success is like how well you predict your own future. And by that, I guess I don't really mean like just being able to predict your own future isn't good. Like if I say, I'll be homeless in 5 years, I'm not successful because I'm homeless in 5 years, but like because most of us dream of like a good future. Like if you think about yourself in 5 years, what do you imagine? Like if I thought about myself 5 years ago even, playing this Let's Play world, how would I think about this Let's Play world? How would I think about me and what I was doing? Like, did I picture that I'd still be doing the Let's Play? I can't tell you for certain. Did I picture the world would look anything like this, where I've got a pretend savanna biome with swamp trees in it? I can't I can't tell you that was something that I did predict. And but yeah, my point being is so when we predict the future, we predict the really positive version for ourselves, because no one wants to be like, actually, yeah, I guess in 5 years I will probably be homeless. And no one's you want to predict like, yeah, I'll be like on a beach, or I'll be like, doing something happy in 5 years. My life's gonna be awesome in in some amount of time where you don't have to really think about doing it. But being successful in life is being able to predict the future and then making the future you predict come true. And on a personal level, that's easy. On like a global level, it's hard. Like, who does it besides like Elon Musk, for instance? And I was thinking like, it's interesting that that's kind of how that's how you can measure the definition of like any real success. Although again, you can also like kind of flip that around and be like, well, if you just like lower your goals, and because honestly, like there is no definition of successful in life. You might think there is. You might think, now when you make money, cash money roll, or when you just when you go on holiday and you post hashtag goals on Instagram or whatever it is, that's when you really made it. But I think the truth is like, it really is just like a definition of something inside you where you're like, actually, that, when you feel like you've achieved meaning or something like that, is probably the real definition of success. And one of the easiest ways to do that is just to like plan how you want things to be and then see if you can make those things happen. Because guessing the future is really the definition of all success in life. Because, those, I'm just saying, like if you live in the present, and you never even think about the future, then because even things that seem like they last a long time, like I think about this, like if you're on a TV show that seems like it's been going on forever, like The Simpsons will end eventually. It's on 27 seasons or something right now, 30-something seasons maybe, and like if you're just thinking like, oh, I'll do this forever, then when it ends you're gonna be shocked or whatever. And I don't know, there you go. Future's interesting. And guessing the future is a skill we should all have. We should all be futurologists. Except we already are all futurologists. Just some of us are better ones than others, maybe. Yeah, I think that's a good message to end this one on. So I hope you all enjoyed this video. I hope you can predict your own future accurately. I want to finish chopping down these trees, honestly, so I think I'll do that before night falls. But yeah, I hope you all enjoyed the video. Like if you liked it, share if you liked it, subscribe if you're around here. And I think I'll be doing another episode of Serious Sunday this week. Although, because I'm recording this before Sunday, maybe I've already recorded that and that's gone out already. So I don't know. I hope you all enjoyed the video. Thank you for watching this little thing, and thank you for enjoying it, apparently. And if you want to see this as a podcast, make sure you get YouTube Red, because if you don't know, YouTubers get paid like double as much from YouTube Red, so you can support every YouTuber you want on the whole platform just by getting that subscription. And again, I don't personally benefit too much from your own subscription. Like, I might make 1 cent from you now and 2 cents from you in the future, but it's a good thing to do if you want to support every YouTuber. And if everyone in the world had a YouTube Red subscription, then I don't know, I guess YouTube would be a very different place, wouldn't it? Anyway, thank you very much for watching, and I'll see you all next time. Bye.